Okay, hey guys. Sorry about the lighting. I don't know what's going on here. But okay, so I've been fasting, but on the second yesterday, this is my third day, but yesterday I kind of messed up a little bit. But I am back in ketosis and but the interesting thing is that I didn't actually sleep last night, and I basically like stayed awake until like 6 a.m. And then all of a sudden it was like once 6 a.m. hit, or like 6:30, it was like I started to like, I don't know, it was odd. I was like having like a lot of like, I was like feeling really zoned out, but I was kind of awake. Um, okay, so here's my theory really on this, all this stuff. And this is gonna seem wild, but I don't care. So basically, like, the reason I'm fasting is because I believe that I have, like, kind of like a candida, like yeast thing going on that I'm healing my gut from. Because I was eating so many carbs all the time, and that I was basically layering them into my intestines, and that's why I was feeling like crap, and my sleep started to, like, I started to be able to sleep less and less. Now, the funny part is that now that I'm in ketosis, I'm not hungry, but also when I don't sleep, it's like my whole body is like, thank you. Like, it doesn't, like, when I would try to sleep, I'd like force myself to sleep, and I would always like wake up, like, and I'd feel like crap, kind of, and I'd feel like messed up and like really anxious. But everything I've been reading about sleep deprivation is like basically like people experience it like they get high. And there are a lot of people try to, I don't know, some people use it like drugs to keep themselves awake, but anyone who does it naturally always says they feel good. And I can see why, because the sleep deprivation actually leads, like, from a consciousness perspective, it actually, I don't know how to explain this, but almost like creates, it's almost like keeping the door open for detox instead of, like, going to sleep and going into, you get REM sleep no matter whether you're detoxing or not. Or, yeah, well, you get REM sleep whether you're awake or not. You're resting whether you're awake or not. So you could still get lots of sleep and not be rested. You know that. But of course, you can actually still be awake all the time and rest. So what I believe is happening is that sometimes sleep is like it reintegrates the brain, but it stores memories and it keeps them like in a linear cycle. But when you actually when you choose to stay awake, and you do, it is a choice for the most part. Um, Stay awake at night, especially. When you choose to stay awake, you actually are forcing yourself into a more present state. And I really believe that then what is happening is most people who are eating carbohydrates have a lot of that stuff caked in their organ systems and in their intestines. So their body not only is resting because they're not sleeping, which is kind of counterintuitive. I know that sounds weird, but you're actually resting when you're not sleeping. You're not, and you start to zone into this state of presence. And then you start to feel drunk kind of and high because of all the, like, some of the toxicities going back into, and you feel grumpy because not because you're tired, but because the toxicity of your intestines and the carbohydrates are being re-released into your bloodstream. So it's a detox effect, and the longer you go without sleep and without carbs, the closer you are to feeling connected with your source. So it's like you become immediately more and more present every cycle. And people start to say that they start to feel better and better. Some people feel like it's hell because they not only don't want to rest, but they're eating carbs the entire time that they're not sleeping. So of course they're going to have negative side effects because you're polluting the body with the carbs, which are essentially alcohol. That's what the body does. It breaks these carbohydrates down and like alcohol, which would make sense that when you don't sleep, you feel drunk because the body is then taking this alcohol and putting it back out of your organs, back into your bloodstream to detoxify. But when you sleep, you don't notice this, and it like kind of like integrates the alcohol and it represses. It makes everything linear again. So like you have more memory and you're less focused. But like, they say you process memory, but it really creates separation. It creates a sense of, I don't know, like linear consciousness. I don't know how to explain it versus nonlinear. When you do stay awake as long as you can, there are some occasionally unpleasant moments of tiredness and grumpiness, but you get through those really, really quick, I'm noticing, and you actually just start to feel good. You still feel drunk. I mean, I kind of feel drunk. Like, I'll be honest, I feel drunk, like, kind of, and like, I'm like out of it. My tongue, there you see. It's like definitely coated. I don't know. It's very odd, this whole thing. But it's exciting because I feel like I stepped into this whole new realm. Because the more carbs I was eating, I would force myself asleep for a while. But then it's like eventually it's like I couldn't sleep at all. So it's almost like my body was like telling me, don't sleep. You know what I mean? It's like, don't sleep. Okay, well, I want to sleep. But once I kind of surrendered to the fact, and I've just been keeping myself busy at night, and I haven't been sleeping, it's kind of been pleasant. But I'm also fasting, which is like intense. A lot of people experience hallucinations when they don't sleep, and that's well known. No one's going to die. That's bullshit. I don't believe that for a second. But the hallucinations, I do believe, because instead of being in REM sleep, having hallucinations when you're dreaming, you're having the hallucinations while you're awake. But the hallucinations or dreams, whether you're sleeping or awake, all have to do with your diet and the health of your intestines. So it's like you're detoxing. That's what the hallucination is. It's a detox. It truly is. It's a fucking detox. But everyone is dreaming. Like if you go to bed at night and you eat a big meal, a lot of people say they have nightmares. Well, if you have nightmares before you go to bed, and after you go to bed, and you ate a really late night meal, yeah, that makes perfect sense because your body's detoxing. But you're dreaming while asleep. But now, without sleep, you're still hallucinating while awake. It's still dreaming, but you're awake. You're still getting REM sleep, but you're awake. So you do see things that are odd, and you have you feel out of it and spacey and like a zombie. But in a way, there's a pleasant euphoria because you're more, except for the periods where your bloodstream is being inundated with crap. There are moments and periods where you feel present and you feel connected spiritually, and your senses are heightened. And it makes perfect sense why sleep deprivation has been a very spiritual practice. So I kind of pulled it together, I hope, for you guys. So this is day 3. I don't really know. I am going to be fasting again through the night. I feel a lot more confident I can get through tonight, where yesterday when I started I had a little bit of some carbs. I just it kind of screwed up my whole entire balance. Also, a lot of people report feeling hungry or lack of hunger. It depends. Like sometimes they feel hungry, sometimes they feel lack of hunger when they're asleep, when they're not sleeping. But there are people who don't sleep at all, and I know that's true. There's testimonials about that. I also went to the gym, and what the weird thing is that I feel tired. Like, my body feels tired. I could feel it, but it's good because before, when I was trying to force myself to sleep all the time, I was always jittery. And now I'm almost relaxed for once. It's a fucking nice feeling. And I'm kind of buzzed, without drugs. And so I think it's just like little bit of a cycle. It's a process I'm going to have to go through for a little while. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do it, but when I eat, I'll probably will eat, steak, red meat for my blood type. The protein doesn't affect insulin, and it doesn't ferment like carbohydrates and sugar do in your body. So that's why people get drunk when they feel messed up and zoned out when they don't sleep. It's like a natural repair mechanism. It's like insomnia is like really like the body's way of dealing with an overloaded system. That's why there's all these studies that say, oh, diabetes and heart disease is associated with insomnia or sleep deprivation. Well, you have the wrong order, people. You don't have sleep deprivation. It doesn't cause diabetes and all these other things. The carbohydrates and all these other foods and bad negative thoughts cause the sleep deprivation because it's your body's way of coping. It's depriving you of sleep so the body can detox. It's not like it's like the sleep deprivation is the problem. It's that the thoughts and your food choices are the problem, which cause disease, which then leads the body to stop you from sleeping because it's allowing the body to clean itself up when you're awake. You have to re-experience everything while you're awake. You can't just ignore it and try to like surrender to sleep and just pretend it's just going to go away just because you're unconscious. So that's that. I better stop. Gotta get this uploaded. All right. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Wish me luck through the night. All right.